Well, Coach, a lot of people believe that Jahlil Okafor will be the #1 pick of the draft if he comes out. Just talk to me about him and the challenges of facing him.
Yeah, I had the opportunity 2 summers ago when I was the assistant coach with Billy Donovan, our under-19 World Championship team with USA Basketball. He was on that team, and I got to see up close and personal just his huge potential, his huge talent, how good he was. Good young man too, and so no, just to see his development, his ability. Guys like him don't come around ever so often with some of the skills that he has and the abilities that he has. So certainly when you go against a player like that who has that many talented players around him, it presents a great challenge. And he's, you know, his size, his passing, his scoring, his physicality are all things that you have to try to match and make it as difficult anytime you play a player like him. Make everything he gets and really the other players earned. And that's always the battle before each possession, each team you're playing, and he has that. And again, it's not just Jahlil, there's some really good other guys out there, and so they're one of the better offensive teams you'll see with their matchups and their play. So again, like I said, having coached as an assistant him and seeing him develop, I know certainly up close and personal how talented he is.
Talk to me about those other guys, the whole team in general. They start 3 freshmen. Just how do you match up against them?
Yeah, I mean they're very talented. You know, Coach K, they do a great job recruiting, and then he puts them in a system that is very good for them and conducive to them. Actually, Justice Winslow was on the team with Mike Tovey, played on that team with Jahlil, so very gifted. You know, defensively and offensively, multi-dimensional player. And then obviously their point guard has that uncanny, you know, he's such a neck-up player with the physical abilities to go with it. Rashid Suleiman was on that same team, the under-19 team, so really 3 of those guys played on that. Rashid is such a talent. And there's Emil, there's so many good players. That's what they do when they play well. So you have to have the mindset that, again, they're going to have to earn, and they have young guys, but they're talented, and they got some experienced guys mixed in with them, and they're obviously playing at a very high level.
You have 5 days now in between your next game, but then you have a quick turnaround right away. So how do you deal with that going into that 2 games?
Right, I think you prepare. We haven't gotten to the place where we're at right now by looking at, okay, this 4-game stretch or this, that. You just, what is in front of you? You put all your focus towards that, and then when that's done, you turn the page and get ready for the next. You know, in your preparations, there's some similarities. There's things we do that are consistent that you're always preparing, but again, you get as ready as you can, you prepare as much as you can, you become as physically and mentally as fresh as you can for these games. Having coached in the Pac-10, we always played Thursday, Saturday. So you always had that one day in between. So there's some experience. We've talked about that before, but it's Duke that's in front of us, getting as ready for them as we can, and all the focus goes in that. And then when that's done, turn the page and get on to the next one, you know, however short that turnaround is. And it's the same, you know, who we're playing, they have the same situation, so get with it.
With College Game Day coming, obviously it's a top 5 matchup most likely. Circus kind of rolling into town for this one. You know, can distract from the basketball game a little bit, but at the same time, must be a great opportunity for your program to be in that spotlight and help with kind of the building of the program. Yeah,
very thankful for what's happening. And again, never been a part of College Game Day, and certainly whenever Duke comes in, there's such excitement, and you know, just where they're positioned, where we're positioned, there's a lot to it. I don't think there's anything wrong by being thankful for that, enjoying it, but I think our guys, as long as they're faithful to the things that have put them in this spot, and not get carried away with all the other things, the extracurricular stuff of that, then they'll be fine. I mean, they understand they're in this spot because they have been true to what has made them good, and they'll have to continue to do that, and the fans will love it. There'll be excitement there, and there's some nice things about it, but it always comes down to how well you play in that day and how you prepare and execute in what's important to you, and the fact that College Game Day is here or not here, that's a little bit irrelevant to the game itself. And I think that's what we got to get to. And then certainly I'm glad that the people of Charlottesville can experience it, the students, the fans, and as long as it doesn't distract you too much. And the experience of our players, my hope is that that's an advantage. Last year there was a lot of attention, a lot of things, and I think they realize you have to put the blinders on and be ready for what's there, and then you're on to the next because there's a quick turnaround.
But can you understand it's a neat thing for the fan base to have game day here? This is a big deal that they've never been here. It's a neat thing for the fans, right?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I think that it's there's no question that's very thankful for it, and it's our fans have been great this year, last year, and even when it wasn't going so good or when we were trying to build it, those that came and support it, you don't know how much that means to me and our staff and our players. But yeah, that's neat. That's what I think ESPN has done, and just how it is, the excitement of that. So great opportunity for everybody to enjoy outside of the program, those that pull for it, and then for us to try to make the most of it.
How has your team been so resilient in some of these ACC games where you've been down, at least in 3 of these 7 ACC games, down late and found a way to win?
Well, I guess if we were so resilient, we wouldn't be down that much late in the games, or we weren't. But I think that, as I said, just what we alluded to before, they've been in spots like that. There is experience. There is a poise and composure that upperclassmen have, or even guys that have played a lot, that helps. And also it reveals there's not a big separation, as I say every week to you guys, and you got to really be right. And that's the thing that I think, keeps reoccurring. But I told our guys after, I was so proud of how they finished and how they stayed with it. Because you can get, on the road in those settings or in any of those situations, you can lose your way, and to stay with it and make some big plays is a credit to them for sure. And resiliency is a very important characteristic if you're gonna have a successful season, because you're gonna face those ebbs and flows, and how you deal with that is significant.
Duke has got a lot of young guys. Do you think you maybe have an advantage there because Duke has played so many freshmen? Yeah,
I think they're so talented, and they're getting more experience. But I've always said the formula for us last year and this year up to this point has been the experience, the upperclassmen, and you got to use that. That's something that I think has helped us be resilient in those situations. If you haven't been in those, it's a little different. So I hope that's an advantage for us. I think our guys, I can't say how Duke responds. Hopefully that's a great home atmosphere, as we know it will be. But I think the experience for us is important. When you have some special talent like they do with those young guys, there's something a little different there. But again, there's no substitute for experience. So I'm thankful that we have some upperclassmen, and certainly they'll be tested.